Every night, when the world grows quiet and the wind slows to a whisper, the Lantern Fairy begins her gentle journey. She is a tiny fairy with warm golden wings, carrying a glowing lantern made from the very first spark of dawn. Her job is truly special. She lights the paths for wandering souls, lonely dream travelers, lost thoughts, forgotten hopes, and little spirits who can't find their way home. Her lantern's light is soft but powerful. It never hurts the eyes, but it shines far into the darkest corners of the night. The Lantern Fairy loves her work. She floats above sleeping villages, glowing forests, and silent rivers. Whenever she sees a wandering soul trembling in the shadows, she lifts her lantern and says softly, "Follow the light." And every time, the lost soul finds comfort and begins to follow her gentle glow. She leads them back to their dreams, their memories, or the warm places where they belong. The creatures of the night respect her, and even the wind moves softly when she passes. One night, as she flew across a quiet valley, she noticed something strange. The air felt heavier and the stars looked dimmer. Usually they twinkled brightly, guiding her as she guided others. But tonight, the sky looked troubled. The fairy paused and raised her lantern higher. Its golden light spread across the valley, but the darkness didn't move away as quickly as it usually did. Soon she saw a very small, very frightened wandering soul, sitting alone on a rock. It looked like a tiny blue flame, flickering weakly. "Are you lost?" the fairy asked kindly. The little soul trembled and whispered, "I can't find the way back. Everything keeps changing." The fairy felt a soft ache in her heart. She held her lantern close and said, "Do not be afraid. I will guide you." The soul nodded and followed her as she floated forward. But then, something unexpected happened. The path she thought she knew so well suddenly twisted into a new shape. Trees appeared where there should have been open sky. Shadows thickened around her, until even her lantern felt small. Still, she kept flying, trying to stay calm for the frightened soul behind her. But with every step, the darkness grew heavier. The stars faded completely, and the sky turned into a deep, cloudy ink. The fairy stopped mid-air, confused. She had guided others for so long, and she had always known every path, but now she didn't recognize anything. For the first time in her life, the Lantern Fairy whispered, "I think I am lost." The little soul trembled harder. "What do we do now?" it asked. The fairy looked at her lantern. It was still glowing, but the light felt weaker than ever. She wondered if the darkness had swallowed too much of her strength. She took a slow breath and said gently, "I will figure it out. Light never forgets how to shine." But inside, she felt uncertain. They traveled slowly, with the fairy using every little bit of her light to check the path. Yet the darkness twisted around them like a maze. Every turn led to another shadow. Her wings drooped, and her lantern dimmed further. Then, something surprising happened. The little wandering soul behind her spoke softly. "Lantern Fairy, your light helped me when I was scared. Maybe I can help you now." The fairy turned around, shocked. "Help me?" she asked. The small soul floated closer. "I don't have a lantern, but I still have a little light." Its tiny blue flame flickered brightly for just a moment, then settled into a soft, steady glow. The fairy felt a warmth in her heart. She realized something she had never thought about before. Even the smallest light matters in the deepest darkness. "Let's try together," the little soul said. The Lantern Fairy raised her lantern again, this time feeling stronger. The two lights joined, golden and blue, mixing into a gentle white glow. Step by step, the darkness began to thin. The path straightened, and a few stars peeked out again. After a long while, the fairy recognized the outline of familiar hills. Relief washed over her. "We found the way," she whispered. She guided the soul back to its home, a cozy dream filled with warm lights and quiet music. As it settled safely inside, it looked back and said, "Thank you, and thank you for letting me help you." When the fairy returned to the sky, her lantern glowed brighter than ever. She finally understood that even guides need guidance sometimes, and even helpers need help. She had always believed that she must be the strongest light in the night, but now she knew that light grows stronger when shared. From that night on, the Lantern Fairy no longer feared losing her way. If she ever felt lost again, she simply whispered, "Light can always find light," and the night always listened. Thank you so much for joining me for this story. If you enjoyed it, please like this video and subscribe for more peaceful tales. See you next time.